Alright, so let me start with a simple question. When you write a simple sentence, is it made of just one character? No, right? It's made of many characters arranged in proper order, like Python is easy, right? Now think about students, the marks of students. Do we store one value or we store multiple value together? And the correct answer is ordered value, right? So from this it is clear that order really matters, and that is why in Python whenever we store multiple values in particular order, we use something called sequential data type or sequence data type. And that is why in this video we are going to learn what is sequential data type, what data type Python offers, and the most important thing, how to use them. So without wasting time, let's get started. Now first let's understand what exactly is a sequence data type. A sequence in Python is nothing but a collection of multiple elements stored in a specific order. And each element in sequence has a position and an index number. Let's take an example. Here we have marks which are 70, 85, 90 and 78. Now here all these values are stored together. The order is maintained. First is 75, then 85, then 90 and then 78. But now here an important rule is Python uses indexing, and indexing starts from 0. Let me show you an example. Now here 70 is the first order and its index is 0. 85's index is 1, 90's index is 2 and 78's index is 3. So this is the indexing of all this ordered number. So the idea of order is foundation for all the sequence data type. And I think now this concept is clear to you. And now after this we are going to explore one of the very important thing about sequence data type, and that is types of sequence data. Basically sequence data are provided four basic types. The first is list, then tuple, string and range. So these are the four data types. And now we are going to explore each of them step by step. From this, the first is list, which is the most flexible sequence. A list is basically the ordered collection of elements, and it is mutable too. Now mutable means you can change its value after the creation. Once you create this list data type, after creation you can change its value. That is called the mutability. Now let's see, this list are returns using square brackets. For example, numbers are equal to 10, 20, 30, 40. But now these are returns under this type of square brackets, and that is very important. Now another important thing is this list can store integer, float, string and even mixed data. Here you can see integer, float and then string. So this is the mixture of data, and you can store this mixture of data in list data type. Now because of this flexibility that makes this list extremely useful. If we talk of real world application, then it is used in student marks, shopping cart items, data collection from user and many more. So this list sequence data type is really very helpful. Now it's time for quick check. Let's see how well you understand this concept. So I'm going to ask you a question and you're supposed to answer as quickly as possible. Which of the following is correctly defined as a list in Python? Your options are this. A. Ordered and immutable collection. B. Unordered and mutable connection. C. Ordered and mutable collection. And D. Uncontrolled and immutable collection. So here you have four options. think over it and then write the answer into the comment section. Once you are done with that, we'll move to the next section. Now let's talk about tuple, which is flexible and safe. A tuple is very simple like a list, but there is a major difference. The tuple is immutable, right? Here the major difference in list and tuple is immutable. Basically tuple is also ordered collection, but it is immutable. Now what does it mean? It means once we have created tuple, we cannot change the tuple. Now if we want to mention the tuple, then tuples are written in parentheses like this. For example, we are mentioning coordinates. So how we mention coordinates? In parentheses like this, brackets, right? So tuples are always written in parentheses. So from this, it's clear to you that if something is in square bracket, you can modify it. But if something is in parentheses, you cannot modify it once it is created. So basically these tuples are used when the data should not be modified. The value should not be changed. That is the place where you're supposed to use tuples. For example, values represents constant like coordinates or configuration settings, right? Those values should not be changed. So in that case, you're supposed to use them as tuple. And these characteristics of tuple make it safer, right? So this is the simple thing about tuple. Now there is a quick short question about tuple. And your question is this. Which symbol is used to define the tuple? Your options are this: A, B, C, and D. Now think about all these four options and what do you think? What will be the correct way to write the tuple? Write your options into the comment section. So after this, we are going to move to the next segment. Now here's something many students miss. That is a string. A string is also a sequence. Yes, it is also a sequence. A string is a sequence of characters. Remember this, a string is a sequence of characters. Let me give you an example. Here we have name, and in double inverted comma we have written the name is Python. So how you are going to mention the strings? In double quotes or double inverted comma. So this is the sequence of character which makes it a string data type. Now let me tell you something very important about it. Internally, this Python stores like this: Python and then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now what does it mean? These are the indexes of each and every character, right? So index is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Earlier we have understood that sequences has index, right? Sequence data type has index. So here each of these letters P, Y, T, H, O, N has specific index, right? Now if this each of this character has index, that clearly means that we can access each and every character using indexing. Let me give you an example. If I write like this, name of 0, and then that gives me output P. If I write name of 3, that gives me output H. So basically I'm writing name into the bracket index number. So that index number gives me that exact character. So by using this indexing technique, we can extract the characters. Now let me tell you one more important thing is strings are immutable. So the characters cannot be changed directly. And this all makes string very useful. Now let us check how well you have understood the string. So there is a quick question for you. And your question is this. Which of the following is true about string in Python? Your options are this. A. Strings are mutable. B. Strings are unordered. C. Strings are sequence of character. And D. Sequence cannot be indexed. So here you have all these four options. Think over it and write in comments that what do you think? which of this is correctly suitable for string. So after this, we'll jump to the next segment. The next is range. The range data type generates the sequence of number. It's commonly used in loops. Let me give you an example. If you want to write range, then you're supposed to write range into the bracket 1 comma 6. Now if you write range like this, and this gives the output like this, 1 2 3 4 and 5. Here you have noticed something important. The AND value is not included. AND value is 6, which is not included here, right? So remember that in range, whatever AND value you mention over here, that will not be included. And that is also the property of range. Now, other important thing about range is you can use range in step also. For example, if I write range like this, range 0, 10, 2. Now what does it indicates? First of all, starting character, then ending character, and then this is the step size. And like this, if we run and execute this thing, and this is the output, we get 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. And 10 is not included. Why? Because it is end character. So you need to remember this thing, that in range, this end character is not included in output. Now there is one important thing about this range is really memory efficient, and it is widely used for iteration purpose, right? So this is very important about range. So now I think the basic idea of range is clear to you. So let me ask you a short question. And your question is this: what does the range data type generates? Your options are A, random numbers, B, floating point numbers, C, sequence of integer, and D, characters. Think over it and then write the answer into the comments. You can take your time, pause the video, write the answer, and then we'll move to the next segment. Basically, this indexing gives a single element. For example, here if we have our data 10, 20, 30, 40. So if I have written my data into the square bracket, now you can guess which type of data is this, right? If you can guess correctly, then write it in answer, right? This data is list. And if you have guessed correctly, a big thumbs up for you. Now we'll jump forward. Now let's say if I'm writing data of 1, then that gives me 20. Why? Because this is the index number, this is 0 index, index 1, index 2 and index 3. So this is how writing index you can extract the elements of sequence data type. Here not only it works with positive sequence, it also works with negative sequence. Now let us write like this. This is data of -1 and that gives 40. Now how this 40? This is 0. So positive numbers will be on right side, negative numbers will be on left side. Now left side there is no number. So again it will start with the end. So whenever you write -1, it gives 40. If you write -2, then 30, -3, then 20. So like this, it also understand negative indexing. Now like this indexing, slicing is also important. So basically this slicing gives the part of the sequences. And how to write this slicing? The way to write slicing is like this. Into the brackets, square brackets specifically, start, end, and step. So from where do you want to extract? Up to what number you want to extract? And is there any specific step size in which you want to extract? For example, if I write 1 jam 3, so it is first index, second and third index, right? So from this to this, it will give me 20 and 30. The last will not be included, that you need to remember, right? So this is how you can do slicing in sequence. Now this type of slicing will be very much useful when you are working with very large data set, right? Extracting several important or key data or data with some specific feature. In that, indexing and slicing would be very much useful. Now we are going to talk about mutability and immutability. So here is the list. List is basically mutable, tuple is immutable, string immutable, and range is also immutable. So if you understand this concept clearly, you would be avoiding many beginners mistake and you will be having very clear idea about sequence data type, right? So this fundamental knowledge is very important when you are doing programming. Now in next video, we are going to explore Boolean data type in Python. So if you are interested in that, stay connected with this channel. Subscribe to this channel for similar videos. And here I am going to give a pop-up, right, of next video on Boolean data type. You can click there and we'll meet into the next video. Till the time, bye bye.